here's a dilemma in golf. The golf swing is very, very complex. It's very, very complicated from a mechanical point of view, from a geometry point of view, from a physics point of view, from a biomechanical point of view. It's a complicated movement. No denying it, okay? And then you pile onto that the fact that there are, by at least one calculation, at least 446 quadrillion ways to hit it correctly, which is more ways to hit it correctly than shots have been hit yet. So trying to make something that complex simple is a real challenge, right? So everybody wants, just tell me something simple, tell me something simple. I want to make my swing simple. Well, that would be like saying, let's make the shuttle really simple. You know, let's make nuclear technology really simple. It just, the two things conflict. And so it presents a problem. You know, I want consistency and dependability and repetition and power, and I want to be able to do that every time. But I want it to be simple, yet it's a complex movement. So where's the bridge between those two? The bridge is to figure out the one thing that's most important in Dan's swing and Keith's swing and Nadine's swing, the one thing that's most important, and kill that one thing. Spend enough time to where that one unstable thing becomes stable. Then move on to the next most important thing, whatever that is. How do you figure out what that one thing is? You do it diagnostically, not personally, or not with biases or preferences. You know, I would love to swing like Rory McIlroy. I just can't. And even if I tried to imitate his swing, he would make his swing better than I can make his swing every day. So even if I was really good at imitating him, he would still beat me because he can make his swing better than I can make his swing. Does that make sense? So imitation has a value to an extent, and then it diminishes really quickly. So what you're left with is, there is no the way for all of us to swing. There's Nadine's way, there's Keith's way, there's Dan's way, there's Ron's way. I always use the analogy, it's kind of like your fingerprint. Your fingerprint works great for you. Mine works great for me, but they're different. They're very different, but they're both fingerprints. So they're all golf swings, granted, they're all golf swings, but you don't have to do it like somebody else just because they look pretty doing it, or because you're jealous of how far they hit it, or for whatever motivation you have. You don't have to do that just because somebody else does it. Make sense? With me so far? So it's a very, very individual thing that you're trying to do here. And so what we're trying to do from an impersonal, non-biased perspective is to say, what's the most important thing for me to do? Right? What's the most important thing? So, you know, if I address this ball this way and go, all right, I'm going to hit this right down the middle.
If you hit that 300 yards, I'm going home.
300 yards right down the middle.
I'm going home.
If I end up like this, that would work pretty good, wouldn't it? Make sense?
Yeah.
So even though I started off like this, if I'm able to come back like that, that would work pretty good.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep.
It doesn't matter that I started like this, as long as I can return this to a spot that will end up pretty square. Make sense? I work with a guy who's 53 years old now. He lives in Tallahassee, Florida. I think he's ranked 16th by the USGA in men's amateur golf over the age of 50. He aims the club face at his left toe. That's his aiming point right there. Okay? Why is that? Because when Marcus takes off, he goes so fast this way and so far this way, and his right arm is so far in front of the ball that he ends up like that at impact. So it makes perfect sense for him, and also it's a psychological thing. When he's playing against people, they get real distracted by his club face at address, and you know, he kind of uses it as a little gamesmanship too. So I'm not saying that all of us need to do that. I'm just saying that for Marcus, it's perfect. In fact, the more he closes the face, the better he hits it. Right? Make sense? So what we're going to try to do today, and you know, my mother in heaven would come back and visit us if I didn't do ladies first. So we're going to go ladies first.
Absolutely.
We're going to go ladies first, and then you know we're just going to take a couple of swings. I'm gonna take some video, I'm gonna send you what I see, and then we'll spend the rest of the time working on that one thing. So
Okay.
the theme of this clinic is one thing, just one thing.
Okay, I like that.
All right,
I like one thing.
one thing.
One thing.